That's just. Did you know that that's just a general? This is like the best description of you. Like, what's that movie? You know,
I just can't. I don't remember names.
Yeah, you suck at. You suck at names.
I can't wait. Hey, what's up, guys? Benji and Anthony here, and thank you for joining us today at the bar for our What to Watch Wednesdays. Today, we're going to be reviewing
Poltergeist, an excellent film that came out in 1982, directed by Tobe Hooper, or so it seems. This is a great Halloween staple. If you love ghosts, and if you hate clowns like myself, this is another great movie to see.
Yeah, that clown, forget that clown. But let's get into it, guys.
Poltergeist, which actually means noisy ghost in German, is a story about a family, the Freelings. Mom is played by JoBeth Williams, and dad is played by Craig T. Nelson. And this is about their kids, Carol Ann and Robbie, and the teenage daughter, which actually she's not much in this movie.
It's a waste of a child.
So you kind of forget about her. Unfortunately, she has scary twists in real life, but we'll go to that at the end. So this family is just, normal family, 2.5 kids, whatever. But strange things start happening, and they revolve around the girl, and we go on this really scary adventure, which we don't even know why this movie's PG, because we would have given it, a PG-13?
No, I think I would give it a little bit higher, because it was pretty creepy.
It is a creepy movie, but let's talk about it.
Parents in horror films. They're weird to me because a lot of times in these films, these parents are very chill.
Or they're not even there.
They don't even care.
Right.
And this movie is a good example of that. First of all, they're hippies. Second of all, for a PG movie and where they're smoking weed, that was very awkward to me.
That was.
But it gave it a cool vibe. Not gonna lie. It kind of gave you like a chill side of family, which doesn't really show you in a lot of films. But the one thing I didn't like, which we're already starting off with a negative, which I'm sorry. Is that this film, the parents just seem so relaxed. Even in parts where you feel like they should be scared or they should be worried, they're not. It's calm. It's calm.
Are you talking about the first part of the film? Because I feel at the end of the film, they kind of get more involved.
Maybe towards the second part of when all the events happen. Yeah, the mom going crazy and stuff like that. But in the beginning, it's like, hey, my child is being slid across the floor. Let's put her in that again and see what happens.
I think, but you know what? How you set it up at the beginning? How you say that they're hippies or they're weed heads or whatever. They're in the 80s. A lot of people were very liberal. You had the very Republican, Ronald Reagan era kind of people, and these people represent the outside edges of people.
But she was reading the book of Ronald Reagan.
Was she?
He was reading it when they're.
Oh yeah. I like how they set up how they're just very calm, like you said. And they're not connected with their kids, but then an incident forces them to be like, "Hey, I need to handle my family. I need to take care of this."
But even then, they don't handle it. They stay. They're there. Things are happening.
I feel they do at the end.
Towards the end, yeah, but it's because they've went through it once and they don't want to go through it again. Personally, if I went through that and saw that, I would get out of there. I'm sorry.
I would not let my child slide across. I'll let the chair slide, but I won't let my kid slide.
Yeah, it's something where the things that start happening are weird. It's not normal. But yeah, we're acting like, we're like psychedelic, futuristic, and I just don't like that. But some of the cool things about this movie were the CGI effects, the camera shooting, the cinematography behind it.
What did you think about that tornado, that whole scene with the tree?
That was really cool. That reminded me of there was another movie that I've seen. I keep on forgetting it. But the way the tree comes through the window. That was
horrifying to me as a kid.
You could see the face right from the beginning. And I'm like, that's a creepy looking tree kind of thing. But that was cool. The smoke, even though it looked in the 80s style.
Right, like cool. The storm approaching?
Not just a storm, but like when the ghosts start coming through and you see the smoke flying around. That's really cool. Some of the demonic characters that they show, like the skulls and the way they're figured, that's really cool to me. The one scene that really caught my eye was when she's running towards the room and the room keeps going farther.
Oh yeah,
that was amazing. Even when they shot above the city, that view was beautiful. Stuff like that was cool.
Didn't it remind you? I know you don't like this film, but didn't it remind you of E.T.? Kind of like the same neighborhood. I know you don't like that film.
Yeah, I did, but yeah, like
I remember one of the things I like about this film is when I was a child. When I saw this film, I wanted to live in that neighborhood. That neighborhood looked perfect and peaceful. The family was together, And I'm not saying that mine wasn't, but I didn't live in such a nice place. But then guess what? Look at all these horrible things that start happening. That towards the end, I was like, I don't want to live in that neighborhood.
Well,
you know?
all of these horror films, although the houses look all the same, and I never wanted to live in a neighborhood like that because anytime I saw something where it looked the same, I was like, that's where something happens. That's where something's gonna happen.
The killer's gonna come out.
And yeah, and to me, like that's like kind of like the sin of movies, that if it's in a neighborhood where everything is normal, something's bound to happen, kind of thing, you know. Some of the crazy things that happened with this film, something I thought was weird when I ran into it was they actually used real skeletons in this movie.
Oh, in the pool scene?
In the pool. I don't know if it was just the pool scene, maybe when the
or when they're coming up on the coffins.
Some of those were real. They used actual real skeletons of people, which to me it's kind of disturbing in two ways. One, that's creepy. Two, it's kind of disrespectful in my opinion, you know?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. And because of that, sadly, they believe there's a curse behind this.
There is a poltergeist curse. I've heard of it too.
And that's where, like, some of the things where some of the actors sadly passed away. The little girl, specifically Carol, she passed away.
Carol Ann,
yeah.
Played by Heather O'Rourke.
She passed away, I think, at 12 years old. So it wasn't that long ago because of that. Which, I'm not into superstition, but that's pretty crazy to me. But because of that, like, it shows you how crazy it was in the 80s. They didn't care about what they used or how they showed that film. And
so it was a bit disrespectful?
Not just this. Yeah, it was disrespectful, but it showed. That's what I loved about films back then. That they didn't have a limit. They didn't have a boundary.
Not like today, right?
And they
where
just
they have to clear
in.
everything before it gets shot.
Yeah, exactly. That just went in, and that to me was cool.
I agree.
Awesome,
And you can feel that, you know, they went in and they just kind of like, let's take care of this scene and not have to storyboard it and create it and take it to an audience. It was sort of like, let's make a scary movie. Let's do this. What did you think about Tangina, played by Zelda Rubinstein?
The little, like, medium, right?
Yeah, she was a medium. She came in little. She came in at the end, and she was brought in to. And one of the things that I thought was really cool was like, here's this, you know, let's make it obvious. She is a small person, but she was powerful, more powerful than the other parapsychologists that were there. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was rather interesting because even the dad, he's like, oh, what side of the rainbow are we working on today? I thought that was funny, but guess what? She came in and cleaned your house.
And to me, you told me you find her creepy. You know, you told me stuff like that. I found her funny. I don't know why. Some of the scenes where she says pretty funny stuff, like, "Oh, you're right. You go in first," or you know, just some of those scenes made it funny to me. Her voice was a little creepy, but she was cool. She was actually a pretty big character, which I've seen this movie way in the past, but now that I've seen it more as, you know, really focused on what the film was, I see those gems that were supposed to be little, no pun intended, and became big. Those are the really cool things about this film.
One of the lines that she says in the movie is, "Clear your minds. It knows what scares you." I went home and I was like freaked out by that one line. Like, actually, it even appears in the poster. It knows what scares you, and I would be like, it knows what scares me. Like, it literally genuinely brought fear to me as a child. I was like 12 when I saw this film.
And the one scene, speaking of the fear, that clown.
Oh my God.
That clown scene was horrible. I hate clowns.
People talk about it, or they talk about other movies that about clowns. This is the movie that made me like, I hate clowns.
And rewatching that just remembered me when I was a kid and I saw this. It just scared me again. It's something where, like, it's creepy because you knew that something was going to happen with that clown. From the beginning of the movie, you saw that clown. You knew it was going to come back and attack you. But like I said, those gems, those little things that keep you on that thrill factor, that's what's cool about this movie. That's why it makes this movie such a classic film.
I just rewatched this film for the review. I saw it for the first time on HD. The sound effects, the visual, the editing. Even though that weird, you know, we talked about at the beginning of the video how Tobe Hooper is kind of given the director credit, but there's talks for many years now that Steven Spielberg came in and kind of like yanked him and kind of finished it off. But I give this movie a 9.5. One of the things that we didn't mention earlier was the fact that the mom says, "God help me." And at the end, when she's pulling all her kids in before they're about to be sucked in, I love that I know it's not traditional, but I love that she used God, because in scary movies, you don't get that. You know, people are just kind of like, I'm not going to bring into this for whatever reason. And boop, she was able to save her kids. And I like that. But honestly, after saying all that, it is actually one of the closest to perfect movies I've ever seen. Is 9.5 for me.
To me, it's a little bit different. As it is, you guys know I'm not a big horror fan. Overall, it was a good movie. I really liked it. I liked the scenes, but I would give it a 7. Personally, I just give it a 7. It's not my style. It's too long, in my opinion. I understand. I get it. It's something so classic that you just have to put time. But it just took forever to get to the point, and it was get the hell out of there. That was the point of the movie. And they didn't do it in time. They took too long, and that to me is the reason why it got to 7. But it's still a good movie to watch. It's still a good horror movie to go see. The cinematography behind it, which I've said a bunch of times now. Some of the CGI, some of the characters that they make, the feeling of suspense. Once the action started,
that whole revelation of the cemetery not being moved,
stuff
moved,
like that is
the
great.
headstones.
But like I said, it just took too long, and I despise that about certain movies, man. And I get it, we're not always gonna agree, but I think personally, I still say go watch it, but it is gonna be a 7.
Add it to your October films list.
Hey, what's up, guys? Benj and Anthony here at TheB.A.R, and thank you for joining us on our What to Watch Wednesday for the Poltergeist review.
Join us on Friday when we're going to be revealing our top 5 scary films for the Halloween season.
So it's going to be a shorter little film for that, but it's going to be pretty cool. You're going to learn some of our top 5s. In the comments down below, let us know of your top 5 horror films for Halloween or any time of the year. That'd be pretty cool. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe at the bottom.
And share this video.
Of course, share the video with some of the more movie fanatics and some of the Halloween fanatics out there. Thank you for joining us at TheB.A.R again, guys, and have a good one.
Yep. Okay, now